Thank you for that. But I, to get specific about the question, because you made a statement during that sort of introduction there, where you
Mhm.
actually said you didn't create, or you're not creating the court. So I'm confused. Are you saying this court already exists?
Yes. Let's see. It starts with there's an international law firm in Cairo with 12 lawyers, and they're all like the Johnny Cochrans of Egypt. They're really famous lawyers, a big, really fancy, very famous law firm here. And they're also government contractors. They're high-level lawyers. They had been putting together this university, Ignita Veritas University, that is probably the most heavily licensed university that anybody's ever seen. This has far more than a bunch of licenses as a university. It has law firm licenses and all kinds of things. And I'm friends with some of these lawyers, and I've hired them a lot to help me build other institutions. And so we talk. And as they were doing all these licenses, I said, well, if you're doing all this law firm and UN level and NGO stuff, why don't you get some court licenses? And that kind of planted the seeds, and they liked the idea. And so they racked up a bunch of court licenses in addition to the law firm licenses and all kinds of university licenses. And before you know it, it turns out they're connected to two major universities in Cairo. One is Cairo University. The other is called Ain Shams University. And both Cairo University and Ain Shams University, of course, have law faculty, so they got lots of judges and lawyers. The main thing that Egyptian judges do, other than working within the judiciary in their country, the judiciary in Egypt seems to be keenly aware of the geopolitics that Egypt was a founding country of the non-aligned movement of countries. That's your opposition movement, to the anti-New World Order, is the non-aligned movement. Egypt was a historically founder of the non-aligned movement. It's influential country culturally in the Middle East. Egypt is also the leader of the Muslim Christian unity movement worldwide. So these judges, they're aware of all this context, and they tend to try really hard to be good at working in English and reaching out to other countries. So the judiciary here, they have a lot of connections and shared memberships. A lot of them are members of foreign bar associations. A lot of them go to London, live in London, and become members of the London Bar, and in America and all kinds of places. Then we look at Ain Shams University. It turns out that in the law faculty in Ain Shams, and that's like the Harvard of Egypt, in the law faculty, and I've been there many times, there is an international bar association of international judges. And they actually asked me to become a member, and they kind of pulled me into that. And they were really excited that, I'm a Westerner, that I'm well-versed in international laws, that I have governmental experience. And, they were looking at me as a foreigner to help them further connect and cooperate with truly international judiciary through speaking English. Well, I don't have those kinds of connections. I said, well, I'll be happy to share, to do all kinds of volunteer work for you. But I said, don't look at me. I'm looking at you guys to be connected to the international judiciary. So we've started cooperating. So we have all of these. We have two big universities, an International Bar Association of Judges under Ain Shams. Then we have the 12 lawyers in the big international law firm. All of that took on a life of its own, sparked by my suggestion, hey, guys, if you're going to get 12, however, a dozen licenses, why don't you get a couple court licenses too? So the idea took off. They took off with it. They made it happen. And of course, naturally, they asked me to, volunteer and help them out. Well, I'm not going to say no. How can you say no when there's so much energy behind something like this? The Bar Association of Judges, they tell me they just expanded, opened up a whole new division of the association for human rights. And they have lawyers, mostly judges and lawyers, joining like crazy they say they've like doubled in size over the last couple months,
Okay,
just
and
because they opened a human rights branch.
Okay, and when you say they have people joining, are you saying that anyone can join from any country, any lawyer, or any judge, or what are you talking about? People joining?
Yeah, they have to be accredited as a judge by some ministry or bar association, or they have to be a lawyer who is really has the CV to show that they're qualified to enter the judiciary. And then you have to pass an exam and be approved by a ministry of some country. So, yeah, it's really about judges. It's all about being professional career judges. It's no such thing as people just calling themselves judges or just lawyers who say, I want to be a judge. You have to show that you know how to adjudicate judiciary matters.
Okay,
and that's a special thing.
Okay, so this court, this ACIJ that you guys are proposing or talking about at any rate, is something that you're saying exists, has a number of judges on board already, and those judges come from Egypt, but also many other countries. Is that correct? Would that be correct?
That's right.